Most beginners think bad harvests happen because of bad genetics. Wrong. Most of the time, the real problem is much simpler. Bad lighting, wrong lamp, wrong distance, wrong schedule, wrong expectations. And the worst part? You can spend hundreds of dollars on expensive equipment and still get weak plants, small buds, and disappointing yields. Because more expensive doesn't always mean better. In this video, we'll fix that. I'll show you which grow lights actually work, which ones waste your money, the most common LED mistakes beginners make, and how to calculate your electricity costs before your bill shocks you. Because choosing your light correctly can be the difference between a sad-lit plant and a heavy harvest. Let's start with the mistake almost everyone makes first. Most beginners ask, what's the best grow light? Wrong question. The real question is, what does your plant need right now? Because cannabis doesn't need the same light during its whole life. In vegetation, your plant wants blue spectrum light, cooler tones, around 6,400 Kelvin. This helps roots, stems, and leaf growth. But during flowering, everything changes. Now it needs red spectrum light, warmer tones, around 2,700 Kelvin. This pushes bud production, density, and final yield. And this is where beginners fail. They buy one random cheap lamp from the internet, hang it above the plant, and hope for magic. No, light is strategy, not decoration. That's why understanding light types matters. And first, let's talk about the safe beginner option. Fluorescent lights are like training wheels. Safe, cheap, easy, but not built for big results. There are two common types, CFL, those curly household bulbs, and T5 panels, long tube style grow lights. They're perfect for seedlings, clones, small spaces, tiny cabinets, micro grows. They're affordable, easy to replace, and they don't burn plants easily. You can place them very close. Sounds great, right? Here's the problem. They're weak, very weak for flowering. They don't penetrate the canopy well, they don't produce dense buds, and yields stay low. If you use fluorescence all the way to harvest, you're basically choosing survival over performance. Good for starting, bad for finishing. Which brings us to the opposite extreme, power. If fluorescent lights are bicycles, HID lights are race cars. Powerful, aggressive, serious. These are the old kings of indoor growing, and they still work incredibly well. There are three main types. MH, metal halide, best for vegetative growth, bluish spectrum. Strong for clones and early plant development, but not ideal for flowering. HPS, high pressure sodium. This is the legend. For over 30 years, HPS has been the gold standard because it creates thick colas, dense buds, big yields, up to 1 gram per watt. That's serious production. CMH, ceramic metal halide. The balanced option can work from seed to harvest. Fuller spectrum, even UVB output like sunlight. Some growers believe this is the future. Sounds perfect? Not quite, because HID lights come with a hidden cost. Heat, a lot of heat. You'll need ventilation, exhaust systems, distance from plants, sometimes high ceilings, and of course, higher electricity bills, which is exactly why LEDs took over. LEDs changed the game. Less heat, less maintenance, built-in cooling, timers, dimmers, veg and bloom modes. Just hang it and grow. No giant exhaust system, no fighting heat every day. That's why today, for most growers, LED is usually the smartest choice. But here comes the dangerous part, because LED means almost nothing, and this is where people lose money fast. Alright, so now let's get into the mistakes. And honestly, these are the ones that hurt the most because they are so easy to avoid once you know about them. So mistake number 1, and this one catches almost everyone at some point. Buying a cheap LED. Here's what happens. You look at the price of a good LED panel and your eyes go wide. $300? $400? No way. So you scroll down, find something for 30 bucks, and hit buy. It ships fast. It glows purple. Looks like it works. Except it does not. Not really. Cheap LEDs lie about wattage. They overpromise and underdeliver. Some of them overheat, some fail within a month, and a few have actually started fires. There's an old saying among growers, buy it nice or buy it twice. A cheap light is not cheap. It just costs you in a different way. Okay, moving on to mistake number 2. And this one is sneaky because it sounds logical. Looking only at watts, people think more watts equals better results. Makes total sense, right? Except with LEDs, wattage alone tells you almost nothing useful. What actually matters is how much usable light reaches your plant. We are talking about PAR value, spectrum quality, and light intensity at canopy level. Your plant does not care what the box says. It only cares about what actually hits the leaves. Here's a rough guide to what your plant actually needs. 2,500 lumens per square foot just to survive. Around 5,000 for healthy veg. 7,500 to 10,000 during flowering. That last range is where the real growth happens. Now, mistake number 3. Wrong distance between the light and the plant. Sounds obvious, but you would be surprised. Too far away and the plant starts stretching toward the light. The stem gets long and weak, growth slows down. Too close and the top leaves start burning and bleaching out. A solid starting point is 30 to 45 centimeters above the canopy. Start higher with seedlings. Bring it down slowly as the plant matures and actually watch the plant. Do not just set it and forget it. Light distance is one of those silent problems. You often only notice it when the damage is already done, so check it regularly, especially during fast growth. Alright, mistake number 4. Wrong light schedule. And this one seems basic until you get it wrong. Photoperiod plants are simple. 18 hours of light for veg, 12 for flower. No exceptions, no shortcuts. That schedule is what tells the plant what stage of life it is in. Break that schedule even for a couple of days and the plant can flip back into veg. That is called rebegging, and it costs you weeks of progress. Autoflowers are a bit more forgiving. 16 to 20 plus hours works fine, but they still need consistency. Know which plant you are growing, set the timer, and leave it alone. And the 5th mistake, the last one. This one genuinely surprises people. Watering the same way you did with HPS. LEDs run cooler than HPS. That is one of their biggest selling points, but cooler means less evaporation from the soil, and less evaporation means your plant needs less water. But most growers just keep watering the same way they always did. Same amounts, same schedule, and the soil never fully dries out. Roots stop breathing, fungus moves in, growth stalls, and then the grower stands there staring at the plant and blaming the light. But the light was fine, it was the watering. When you go LED, slow down on the water. Check the soil first, every time. Okay, so before we get to the final question, let's talk about something most people ignore until it is too late. The electricity bill. A lot of beginners think their biggest expense is seeds or nutrients, but it is not. It is power. Your light runs for months. Fans run all day. Exhaust runs non-stop. The good news, calculating it is dead simple. Take your wattage, divide by 1000, multiply by hours per day, then by days, then by your price per kilowatt hour. That is your cost. See the formula on screen. Let me give you a real example. One 400 watt LED, two 40 watt fans, one exhaust at 120 watts. Run that for a full cycle and you are looking at around $180. So before you buy anything, ask yourself, do I actually need this? Can I use fewer fans? Can I pick a faster strain? Can I get more efficient lighting? Smart growers do not just grow better, they grow cheaper. Alright, final question. What do you actually buy? After all of that, let me give you the short version. Small space, seedlings, tight budget, go with CFL or T5. You do not need anything fancy at that stage. These will get you started without wasting money. One maximum yield from a big flowering room, HPS is still one of the best options out there. 30 years of growers cannot be wrong. Want something balanced from seed to harvest? CMH. And for most people today, modern, efficient, Easy to use? Get a quality full spectrum LED. That is the answer. Not because it is trendy, because it genuinely solves the most problems. Less heat, less maintenance, better control. Just do not cheap out on it. That part matters most. So here is what it all comes down to. Most bad grows do not start with bad seeds. They start with bad light decisions. Wrong lamp, wrong distance, wrong schedule. Fix those things and everything else falls into place. Healthier plants, bigger yields, lower costs, way less frustration. If this video saved you from buying the wrong light, good. That is a mistake that costs real money. Now you know how to avoid it. If it helped, share it with someone planning their first grow. And if you want smarter growing, not harder growing, subscribe, because your next harvest starts long before the first seed. It starts with the light.